First, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made. I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool. Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me. About my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices. They all did. But I kept going back to the same politicians. I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right. Then I realized that I have the power, and there is an alternative.
Stop the cycle of political abuse. Vote Libertarian. Vote Harry Browne for president. This is your breakfast. This is your breakfast on Social Security. Any questions?
It's sad, isn't it? You pay into Social Security your whole life, but all you'll ever get back is about $1,000 a month. Not even enough to cover the basics. And by the time you retire, the system could easily be bankrupt. I'm Harry Browne, Libertarian candidate for president. I want to free you immediately and completely from the Social Security tax so that you can have a truly prosperous and secure retirement. Let's get the politicians' hands off your retirement. It's your future. Don't let the politicians throw it away.
Call now to receive this free packet of information or visit harrybrowne.org. Harry Browne for president.
Libertarian presidential candidate Harry Browne has plans for the IRS building. He wants to demolish it and sell off the rubble as souvenirs to pay down the national debt.
Does that seem shocking? It's hard to imagine life without the IRS, isn't it? I'm Harry Browne, Libertarian candidate for president, and I'd like to share a little secret with you. The U.S. government collects enough money from tariffs and excise taxes to fund all the constitutional functions of the government. So if we made the politicians obey the Constitution, the government would be so small you wouldn't have to pay any income tax, which means the IRS would be out of business. The IRS. Could you live without it?
Call now to receive this free packet of information or visit harrybrowne.org. Harry Browne for president.
This is federally funded education. This is federal housing for the poor. This is federal law enforcement. This is the federal government's war on drugs. The more the politicians interfere, the worse the problems get. The alternative? Libertarian presidential candidate Harry Browne.
If elected, I will obey the Constitution. I'll get the government out of all these areas where it's caused so much damage and let you run your life instead of the politicians. Of course, the politicians will howl. They'll do anything to save their pet programs. They'll tell you the Constitution doesn't mean what it says. They say I go too far. They even say I want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But they just don't understand. It's Rosemary's Baby.
Call now to receive this free packet of information or visit harrybrowne.org. Harry Browne for president.
What do you think of the war on drugs?
I think the war on drugs is a sham.
It's a joke. It's a failure.
I think it's ineffective. I think it's hypocritical.
It's been going on forever, and it's a lost cause.
People are being imprisoned, good people, peaceful people. It just makes no sense at all.
People are coming to recognize, if nothing else, that this drug war is an enormous disaster. And yet Al Gore and George Bush believe that if we put these young people in prison for 10, 20, 30 years without parole, they will somehow be better people. As though Al Gore and George Bush would be better people today if, for their youthful indiscretions, they had served 10 years in prison.
Vote to end the war on drugs. Vote for Harry Browne.
And in tonight's news, a local woman was murdered when an intruder broke into her home. Police say...
This is a story that won't make the evening news. Over 2 million acts of violence are prevented every year by armed citizens.
Support the Second Amendment. Call now or visit libertarianeducation.org. Excuse me, you seem like nice folks. Do you believe in gun control?
Yes.
Then would you be willing to stand behind what you believe and post this sign in your front yard? Gun control only seems like a good idea.
To help spread this message, call now or visit libertarianeducation.org.
There are over 20,000 gun laws in America today.
Mommy.
The problem is,
Mommy?
criminals don't obey the law. Gun control only disarms the innocent.
Support the Second Amendment. Call now or visit libertarianeducation.org.